part 2? Yeah! It's Body Heart Bit Time, and it's Amber from bodyheart.com with part 2 of our Defunkify series. If you missed part 1, you can scroll below to see it. And if you're ready for part 2, then keep watching. Today I have 2 tips for you. First one is a little bit easier. The second one is a little bit more challenging. Remember, this week's all about diving in a little bit deeper into the funk process and how to shift it. So the first tip I'm going to give you is I want you to do something out of the ordinary for you. I want you to take a risk. You know, when we get in a place of funkdom, we tend to isolate ourselves and we don't put ourselves out there. There's a really cool online community at a website called Meetup, and it's basically for people who have common interests that live in the same cities that want to meet up. That's a great thing to do. Or you can call up your friends and say, I'm feeling funky and I want to do something new. Let's go miniature golfing. Let's go rock climbing. Let's go for a drive and see where we end up. You know, whatever it is, but just taking the initiative to break out of the norm, of your routine. Tip number 2 is examine your story. This is when we get to the heart of the funk. Because here's the thing, your story is what you're telling yourself. It's what you're believing. And the thing is, you're the creator of that story, so you can change it. But you can't change it until you know what you're telling yourself. So maybe the downward spiral is, I feel like I'm going to be poor forever. I feel like I'm never going to lose the weight. I feel like I'm always going to be fat. I feel like I'm never going to have a career that I love. I feel like I'm going to be alone forever. Those are all stories. They're all stories that we tell ourselves. And there's usually a theme. And it usually always boils down to some form of I'm not enough. It's just as easy to spin your story in another direction as it is to continue to tell yourself the same story. So maybe instead of I'm poor and I'm going to be poor forever, maybe it's there's abundance all around me. I'm destined for abundance. There are new unexpected sources of income that come into my life all the time. Or maybe it's, why am I so worried? I've never had a problem. I've always been able to take care of myself. Because the fact of the matter is, you're here. You're watching this right now. That implies that you have a computer. So that lets me know that you do have enough. You are living in enough, and you are enough. Because that's the great mask. That's the great mask. That's what we're all removing the obstacles so that we can see in ourselves and see that in ourselves. You know, instead of the story of, it's really hard for me to lose weight. Why not play, it's super easy for me to lose weight. I love taking care of my health. Taking care of my health is fun. I'm learning new things about it all the time. I remember when I used to eat all that sugar and how painful it was for me. And I remember the suffering that came from that. And this way I feel more free. You know, there's all sorts of new stories that you can create. It just takes the deeper work. And that's what's really powerful when you defunkify yourself. So what is your story and how can you change it? I want you to write in your comments one story, one outdated story with a new version, a new, more supportive version. Put that in the comments below. Let us see it, because that's how we give each other ideas for how to change our own stories so that we can defunkify and end and interrupt that process, right? Awesome. Please share this video if you found value in it. And also, always, if you're not on our bodyheart.com list, please hop on. It's an amazing community of supportive, encouraging, healthy, happy people. Wishing you ease in the defunkify process so that you can live fully, brightly, abundantly, and joyfully. Peace and pleasure.
Are we? Are we? We gotta have that funk. Are we?
funk. Ow. Actually, we don't want that funk, right?